The O'Reilly Factor, the #1 cable news show for 12 years running.
Thanks for staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly in the Weekdays with Bernie segment tonight. An amazing anti-Palin display on CNN.
Stupid girls, stupid girls, stupid girls.
Sarah Palin is apparently hungry for chicken and controversy. She posted this on Twitter and Facebook. Stopped by Chick-fil-A in the Woodlands to support a great business.
CNN, recognizing its mistake with that song, issued this apology. Quote, "The music selection was a poor choice and was not intended to be linked to any news story." Then why was it used before a news story? Joining us now from North Carolina, the purveyor, BernardGoldberg.com, Mr. Goldberg. Now listen, what offends me is not the music by Pink, is not the anchor, it's the statement. Was not intended. Well, what is it? Did you have a little American Bandstand before we had that? I mean, do we miss?
No. Before you even said that, and we don't rehearse this, so I don't know what Bill is going to say. Before you said that, what I was going to say is the most offensive part of all of this
statement
is this statement by a news organization whose only mission is to tell the truth, and they say that this was unintentional. Really? They have literally millions of songs in their database to choose from.
Right.
Millions. They could have picked Fly Me to the Moon from Frank Sinatra. They could have picked anything. And they picked Stupid Girls, and they have the nerve to tell us, it was unintentional.
Right, it wasn't connected to the news story. What was it connected to, Bernie? That's what I want to know. What was Stupid Girls connected to, if not the news story about Salem? What?
They're not even embarrassed by this. Look, CNN and other news organizations expect politicians to tell the truth. They expect business people to tell the truth. They expect church people, they expect athletes to tell the truth, and they issue a statement like this. They show no respect for the people who, well, the people who watch them may not, I'm guessing the people who watch them don't like Sarah Palin all that much anyway, which is why they did it and thought that, like in the old days, they can get away with it. Well, it's not the old days anymore.
No, you can't get away with that stuff anymore.
You can't get away with this stuff.
Let's walk through it, how this happens. That music selection is put into play by a producer or an associate producer. Somebody,
right,
the anchor person probably doesn't know what it is because the anchor's not in charge of the bumper. They're called bumpers, ladies and gentlemen. These are bumpers. All right, you come in after a break, you do a little of this, a little of that, and it's selected by somebody else. But that means to me, number one, there's the culture of liberalism in play at CNN because they did that. And number two, there's no supervision. There's nobody watching it.
This happens, I time this. This happens once every 3.5 years. You have stumbled once again.
This is Krauthammer's line, too.
No, that was my line. Krauthammer, I like him, but he stole that line from me. You stumbled onto the truth. First of all, it betrays a liberal culture.
Right.
No question. Does anybody think that if they were leading into a story about Barack Obama, they would have anything sounding like stupid anything? Of course not. That's number one. Number two, we all know the anchors, the better-known anchors. But there are people behind the scenes, as you, again, correctly said, who are associate producers and even executive producers. We don't know their names. We don't know what they look like. We don't know anything about them, except that most of them at places like CNN are liberal. And they do something like this because they think they can get away with it because everybody in that atmosphere, and I don't mean literally everybody, but many people in that atmosphere think that Sarah Palin is a jerk. Okay. So they do something like that, and then they all laugh among themselves until it hits the fan.
Yeah, until they get fired, like the person at NBC was for clipping the story. Now, to be fair, this has happened on the Fox News channel a couple of times where people have put together stuff that was inappropriate and unfair, and it's been dealt with. So, I mean, we're not saying, look, the mistakes are going to happen, but the statement was one of the dumbest ever. Okay. Now, Bernie has written a new column about decided voters. Now, Bernie and I disagree on this. I think the Constitution gives us a right to be a moron, and we have that right, and we can exercise it every single day. Bernie says that if you are that stupid that you don't know who you're going to vote for between the two diametrically opposed, President Obama and Governor Romney, you don't deserve to vote. Do I have it correctly?
Yeah. Yeah, I did say that. Here, look, let me give you 3 serious reasons why people may still be undecided. And according to a Fox News poll in the middle of this month, 13% of registered voters are still undecided. Reason number 1 is that for some people, politics aren't a big deal. It's the summertime. They'll start paying attention during the debates and around that. Fine, that's number 1. Number 2, you know, a lot of people, they get a phone call from a total stranger who says, I'm with a polling company, and who are you going to vote for? That's intimidating to some people. So they say, I haven't made up my mind. A third possible reason is the 15 minutes of fame, the Andy Warhol argument. These people, these undecideds, are going to be described as the most important people in America, as they are every 4 years, and reporters are going to stick a microphone in their face and say, what do you think? So maybe some of them want to be famous for a while. But I think if you haven't made up your mind this late in the game between 2 candidates who don't agree on anything, please do the American people, do your country a favor. Don't vote. Don't vote.
But you wouldn't prevent them from voting. You just want them to voluntarily give up their ballot.
In Bernie world, I would amend the Constitution. Yeah, I would amend the Constitution.
And then take a little test, little quiz.
I don't want to go back to the hateful days. You know, I wouldn't ask you to recite the Constitution in Greek or anything. But if you don't know how many states there are, if you don't know what the capital of the United States is, if you don't know,
it'd be easy.
I don't know.
It'd be easy.
Yeah. If you don't know that much, you know what? Do everybody a favor. Stay home. Don't vote. Please, do your country a favor.
I don't know if that's going to get through, Bernie. They can't even get IDs through. I don't know if your little quiz is going to get through.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Bernie Goldberg, everybody. Reality Check on deck. Conan O'Brien mocking the